right, I'm gonna try to do some quick things and then we can just tie in. So
Yeah, sounds great.
we ended in March, which St. Patrick's Day kind of time, and then we did the cruise. We got on the cruise. And
Yes.
I will have to say, my aunt, who was 75 years old, had never been on a cruise. And when she came off, we went over to Disney for a while because we had the house we were renting at
Yeah.
Disney. And so she came over and I took her to Epcot for the first time. So I think that was at 75 years old. We got around, and I'm hoping that's going to be a great memory for her too. But
She really
let's
enjoyed
see.
herself on that trip because
I
I
think
was actually, for those of you who, I was able to be part of that as well with Shane and her family. So that was really nice.
yeah, it was kind of funny. Remember the picture of her going down Frozen ride? I think she was terrified to go down.
Oh, that will make it into that will make it in. That'll make it in.
And then, so April, that's when we did the Tower Terror 10 miler. That's when we did the
Yeah.
race, the Run Disney race. Okay. So, and then Jennifer and Hannah came and visited. That's friends from Ohio, came down for the first time. That was the first time they'd come down. And so we took them over to Universal, Hagrid's motorbike ride. We love Universal, so you got to do that. And then Topolino's. We love Topolino's for brunch. So that is another. We'll put that in our show notes. That one is fun because it is a character breakfast that has Minnie and Mickey and Donald and Daisy. We've done that.
It's such a good breakfast. Dinner's great too, not character dining, but really nice signature dining experience at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Topolino's. That's one
Yeah.
of our faves. You can see some of the Epcot fireworks. I
Yeah, you
believe, on
can.
the
Yeah.
terrace. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a great view. So if you ever get up there, then we had Easter, and we went with you guys. We went to Lock and Key for Easter. That was a good.
Right. That's right.
Again, another first for me, being at the beach on Easter. Who would have thunk we would have? I mean, never done that before, so that was kind of cool. Then I had a work gig that I had to go back up to Indianapolis for. Now I will remind you, this is April. Okay, I go up to Indy and we have a Topgolf event. That is one of our first events. It was snowing. It was snowing in April at the Topgolf event. Hence,
Wow.
again, why I'm thinking I do not miss this weather, and I'm so glad that we
Snow in
decided to move to
April
Florida.
is more common than people think in Ohio.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
when we were getting ready to leave, downtown Indy was opening up a new restaurant called the Sugar Factory. We went there, was really good. They had some key people there that weekend that was opening up, some celebrities. I can't remember. I think it was Nick Cannon and somebody. But anyhow, the big news that was they had a dessert on the menu. You know me and desserts. That was $99.
What in the world? What was it?
I didn't order it. As funny as you guys would think that I did not order the $99 dessert, but I did not. But I'm going to have to find a picture of it and put it in, and we'll have to find that. It was so great to get back, and immediately had to go to the beach day. And of course, I think we've mentioned that Boca Grande, Gasparilla Island, is our favorite location that we like to go out. And but then let's roll into May, because May for me is exciting because we have May the 2nd. And then I met you on May the 3rd, and we celebrated birthday because May the 2nd is my birthday. May the 3rd, we met. Then you have May the 4th be with you. And then you have Cinco de Mayo. And then
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith. And what else can we roll in? Oh, Mother's Day.
Right.
So we always typically try to do book the first week of May at Disney. And then coincidence, so you happened to be there. We didn't even plan it.
We
So
did.
that was fun.
We took my in-laws to the Flower and Garden Festival, and we're able to stay at the Boardwalk Resort, which is a lovely place, nice central location. If anyone goes down for Epcot festivals, great place to stay.
And what's the Italian restaurant there? Tato.
Trattoria Forno.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
That
Solid.
yes, that was very good. And then after my birthday, then we roll into Joe's birthday, because Joe's
Right.
birthday is May 18th. And that's when we found Lido Key. and we went to the Drift Kitchen and Bar, and that's at Lido Key, which is nice in the hotel, and it's upstairs, so you can overlook the beach area. So that was very nice. And then we after that we headed back over to the other side to see Michaela at Vero Beach, at Disney's Vero Beach, and Joe did his first triathlon in Florida. That is another reason why we
Right.
moved, is because he wanted to be able to train a little bit more year round, and he got first place in his age group.
Oh,
And
that's
it was his
right.
birthday.
Gosh, that
Yeah.
seems like it was ages ago.
Oh my gosh, but that weather was horrible. The swimming in the
Oh,
water, or the waves. So, but anyhow, that might be a one and done, because again, that side is the water is a little rougher than it is on the golf side. And then we had Memorial Day weekend. Guardians of the Galaxy opened. We didn't make it up for that weekend. We tried another fun spot called Dixie Fish Company down in Fort Myers.
hmm.
And in that area, there's also a pirate ship where you can go out. And I don't want to call it a booze cruise, but I think it's a very nice
Yeah.
evening cruise. They were having a lot of fun on the pirate ship as we were sitting and watched them sail
Oh,
away.
you didn't go. You just saw
We
it.
didn't go, no.
Okay.
So that was something, and we're like, okay, we have to check in to see what this pirate ship
Yeah.
is. But again, we're rolling into June, and the tropical storms started in June. We had one that came across, but we happened to be over in on the other side when it came in June. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you were here for that one? Were you here in June for the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
tropical?
June
Okay,
20. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that one that came in. So yeah, so then July we headed back up to Topolino's and had some fun in July. I had actually a work gig also in Chicago. So we went up for a site visit at the Drake Hotel, which Chicago is lovely. That's a whole nother, we can, once we maybe talk about different cities that we've gone to and
Yeah.
suggestions that we have, because there was some fun things that we did in Chicago. So we're in July, and then I came back from there, and I had, believe it or not, a conference in Orlando. So then I went to a work conference in
Oh,
Orlando, and that was
that's right.
yeah. So I was, I'm right here, so I might as well go. Uh,
There was a lot of Orlando trips during those few months.
there was, and actually, I will tell you, Joe did forget his computer bag. He had his computer, but I will tell you that I can't remember, it was right at the convention center in Orlando. We stayed at the Hilton, I believe it was,
Okay.
and they were great. Like, they still had it. We were able to call them. We hooked back up with it and we got it. So that was nice. And that was a nice property right beside the convention center there. So, the the ride around the convention there, I just gonna let you, it is a little squirrely. Like, you think you're going to get to the highway, but you're going through the convention center parking lot to get to the highway. So just
Oh,
FYI.
that's
That was
okay. Yeah.
a little weird. Anyhow, so nothing much after that. We did decide to do the not so scary Mickey Halloween party in August. We did a
That's
little
right.
early.
Talk about doing it in August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple of reasons why you could do it in August. Number one, you're probably going to have pretty good weather, which September, October, you'll have pretty good weather too, but it's cheaper in August.
Yeah. You know what? Those special party prices have really
Yeah.
gotten out of
Yeah.
control.
So, but that was fun. That was fun. And then the end of August, we did our epic 2-day trip, shopping trip, which was really fun. And then here we are,
Yeah.
September is when we getting ready to go on the cruise, the not so scary Halloween cruise.
Yeah. That
Mhm.
was Halloween on the high seas, right?
Halloween on the high seas. Yep, yep. So
Yes.
and then Ian, decided to yeah.
That's right.
So I think that's
Yeah, you covered a lot. That was a good 6 months. And because you ended up in, I think if anyone watched episode 5, Shane and Joe arrived in Florida 6 months before Rob and I did. So her 6 months, and then my next 6 months for me to cover picks up kind of where you left off
yeah,
since
yeah.
since how we did it.
So Yeah,
because
so
I,
you will have
yeah,
to discuss the not so scary party and the Disney cruise, the Halloween on the high seas. So those will have to be their own take 10.
there,
Yeah.
yeah, there's so much Disney content that I know that, I mean, you guys have figured out just based on our first 5 episodes of our love of Disney, but we could break that down into like you said, the special parties, the cruises, the everything there is to offer. So, well, Shane, that was a lot. That was great. And you and I did
Yeah.
cross over in several of those activities, which is the beauty of living in the same general area. So that's a
So
lot of fun.
what suggestions you got going on? What do you got
Well,
going on in your six
well,
months?
what I've got kicking off September, I'm not going to start with Ian. I'll end September with Ian. Was Halloween Horror Nights at Universal
Oh, we
Studios.
did that too.
I
That's
know, I know. I
right.
wrote that down as my first thing. So that kind of kicked off September. And I was
Yeah.
looking back to see the first one that I ever did was in 2015. So it would have been, and I was counting, they didn't have it in 2020. And I'm trying to think if they had it in 20. Yes, they did have it in 2021. So that was my 7th Halloween Horror Nights. Now, for all of you adults out there who said, I could never go to that, it's going to be too scary, I hate haunted houses, I was exactly the same way in 2015. I didn't want to go. Our daughter was living in Orlando. Our son Jack flew with, he and I just went together to go visit her. And she said, we've got to do this thing called Halloween Horror Nights. And even Jack, we were both a little timid with it. And we got into the first house and we just had a blast.
They are
As you
fun.
know, you laugh your way through it.
You do.
If you can laugh your way through it, you can get over the scaring. I think the great thing that I appreciate about Horror Nights is the event itself and just the production level. It's a major studio, Universal Studios. So they put out, all kinds of entertainment and, major motion pictures. So, the sets are professionally done in these houses.
The ones at Cedar Point.
Oh yeah, the Hollow Weekends, and we had done that before too, which was a really fun event. But I think Horror Nights kind of puts Hollow Weekends on at the amateur hour compared to Universal Studios, just from a production. And it's getting ready to kick off September 1st. Again, for this year, we already have our dates and hotel booked for that trip, so we're looking forward to doing it again. But a lot of fun, and I encourage anyone to at least try it once. If you've thought about it, I think you'll have a good time. So that was the fun beginning of September. And then, as folks know, September 28th rolled around. Now, the big Hurricane Ian, which did not catch us by surprise. Us and the rest of the world saw it coming in. And everyone, we watched all of the models. Shane, as she mentioned, is in Port Charlotte. I'm in the Venice area. And Ian was not coming toward us. It was going to be hitting the Tampa area, the Tampa Bay area. And it decided that it was going to make a turn. I don't know. I don't want to say the final hour by any stretch, but it was a pretty abrupt movement to come toward our area in Southwest Florida. So in Florida, you have to be prepared. We were not in an evacuation zone. They're by zones. A and B evacuate. C, D, E, F, however many more. They do not. We were in C by a couple of blocks from B. So, but we just looked at what the neighbors were doing and we said, they're staying put, we're staying put. Hurricane shutters are a must if you don't have, I know, Shane, you're building your house with the hurricane proof glass. So that'll be great. The house that we were in and most of our neighbors, we had to put up the metal shutters on the outside. You were like in a tin can before this thing hit. And, it was, one of those kind of storms of the century. It was a big one. It was scary. People ask, oh, were you second guessing Florida at that time? Yes, I was actually sitting in the house in the middle of it. I can't speak for Rob. I was like, okay, yikes. Is this what this is going to be? Now, I knew logically it wasn't, but it doesn't make it any less scary. So it wouldn't. I think the difference between this hurricane and talking to the neighbors, Irma, who had been there maybe 4 or 5 years before, it was a strong one, but it came in and out so quickly. You barely, like they said, it was just like right through. But this one hung for 9 hours. We were on the, and I might be able to I'll definitely put some images in of what we saw and experienced, but we were on the northwest corner of the eye for the 9 straight hours. So a lot of destruction. But you know what? We're fine. We were fine. We lost power for about 8 days. There were areas that were decimated. Fort Myers Beach was the heart of it, right? It just came in there, really, really destroyed that area and everything surrounding it. Shane, I know the area you were in, Port Charlotte and Northport, had a lot of flooding and a lot of damage as it came up through the air.
Yeah, we were lucky at the house. It actually did, as you said, it went over where we're building and it sat.
Yeah.
And it sat. And we were on the Disney cruise. So we were on the
cruise. Right. Yeah.
So we didn't know what was going on. And luckily we did not flood.
Well, that can be scary too, not being at home and not knowing what's happening.
Obi sat in the tub with his dog sitter.
Right. He was in Northport. Obi can say he was a hurricane survivor.
He's a hurricane dog.
He's a hurricane dog.
I don't know. I think maybe we should do our own little hurricane take 10s too.
I think that would be good, and give people tips. We learned a lot during the process. What to have, this list of things that you need to have and all of that. We were a little bit last minute loosies on a couple of items hitting Walmart, and I think that the associates laughed us out of the store with some of the things we wanted. But we had most everything. So we'll do another episode on the hurricane. Let's move on from that. So we get into October. I only have one thing in October. I spent a lot of time in Ohio and on the road. So I'm not necessarily going to talk about that, mostly focus on Florida. But we discovered the game watches. There's a big Ohio State alumni associations all over Florida. Shane, you've been involved in one down in the Port Charlotte area.
Yep.
We joined one it's the Sarasota County Alumni Association. Their game watches are at a place called Captain Kurt's. So we went there in October, ended up running into people I used to work with decades ago. They were there as well. So small world. We beat Michigan State, great time. But again, if you come to Florida and you are a Big Ten schools or big alumni down here, Penn State, Michigan, they all have, their alumni associations. And we found a good one with both of ours in both Port Charlotte and Sarasota. So that was a lot of fun. Then we get to November. November was a big Orlando month for us because we decided that we wanted to pick up Thanksgiving and plop it into Orlando. Our son's birthday, Jack, is always Thanksgiving weekend. Sometimes it's Thanksgiving Day. He's the 27th of November. And we had, you guys came and we had friends from Boston. We just made it my in-laws, we made it a really nice celebration. And for anyone looking to do something like that with a holiday, get a rental house. Mm-hmm. They are plentiful in the Orlando area. Kissimmee, Reunion Resort. We were in a place called Formosa Gardens. Nice big houses to have big family and friend events. And we had some high points of that weekend, right? We had a lovely Thanksgiving. We had great celebrations. We did some Disney things, non-Disney things. We had some low points with the Ohio State Michigan game happened that weekend. And
we don't want to discuss that.
We don't want to discuss it. I don't think we ever pulled off our Ohio State shirt so fast and changed into Disney holiday gear than we did that particular game. But you got to go to Yeehaw Bob for the first time.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It was a good thing we got to go do some celebration and do something to get our mind off of it.
We did. We did some nice holiday cocktails around the monorail resorts, and then we got to see Yeehaw Bob, which is a great piano player at Port Orleans Riverside Resort. So Wednesday through Saturday night, he plays a show and highly recommend going to see him. December, again, back in Columbus a lot. We had our company holiday party. I ended up celebrating my birthday. I don't do my birthdays like Shane does. You guys will see. Mine's like a couple of hours and the thing's done. But I went out to dinner with friends for my birthday. And that was about it.
We did celebrate your birthday early
we
and
did.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, we got to celebrate with you. You did a nice gathering for me over that weekend at the end of November. That was wonderful. We hosted Christmas in our house here in Florida, which was really nice to do.
So I have to ask, do you feel Christmas is different down here than it is in Ohio?
I think Christmas is different. It feels different. I think weather makes a big deal. I think Christmas 2023 is going to feel different and even better because we were still, 8 weeks post-hurricane? No. October, November, several weeks post-hurricane. I think a lot of people couldn't get their lights up because of waiting for roofs. Roofs took a long time to get the new roofs. I don't think there was a house in this neighborhood that wasn't getting a new roof. They were all damaged.
Yeah.
And people waited a long time. So the lights weren't up. People said they couldn't do it because they were waiting to, for the roof. So it was different, but you know what? It was cool. It was chilly here in Florida.
It was this year. Yeah. We didn't go to the beach this year.
No. Yeah, that's right. Because you guys got to go to the beach last year. There was no beach. There was no eating on the lanai, anything like that. I had to move my lanai furniture from outside into the house because we had, 20 people and I thought, they can be on the lanai and we can spread out. I had to bring everything inside. Yeah.
No,
but it was
chilly.
It was, what's that?
Chilly is what was it, like 32? Like what? It was, I don't know if it was below freezing, but it was chilly.
It wasn't below freezing, but it got down in the 30s as the low. And it kind of felt a little bit like Christmas. We just didn't have the snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got to do some fun things over the holiday. But we certainly weren't lounging on the beach, that's for sure, this year.
No.
Or last year. So hopefully this year. Fast forward to January. January, February, March are wonderful months to be in Florida, especially this part of Florida. It was our first real winter, not in Ohio. So that was lovely. We had a great January. We spent New Year's Eve with you, and we went to Cirque du Soleil.
That was so much fun. The Cirque du Soleil, and then just going to actually Disney Springs.
That was wonderful for New Year's Eve. That was great. Again, we had the Ohio State game. That was the down point of the whole night. But we still had a great time. Rang in the new year. Any Cirque du Soleil, Vegas, one in Orlando is called Drawn to Life.
So good.
And I highly recommend it for anyone who wants to do that. And of course, that bumped into marathon weekend. So this was my second half marathon distance. Okay. I had done my first one. First one in 2022. And then we had a bigger group of us all down there for this one for 2023. And lovely weekend. Great marathon weekend for weather. It was getting a little bit on the warm side, but we all made it through okay. And so, but no rain, anything like that. We also we talk about sports. We said that's one of our topics, and we are Bengals fans with you. And we were able to, spend some time cheering the Bengals on in January. But you know what? Now I'm realizing, Shane, that I did not talk about.
What?
Wasn't it December that we went to the Bengals Buccaneers game?
Oh, was it in December?
It was December. Oh my gosh. I didn't even see a picture on it when I was scrolling through, and I know I had a lot of pictures. Yes, we went the middle of December to
That was so much fun.
That's fun. It's great when you live somewhere else and your team comes and plays. And it was Brady versus Burrow, which was a great matchup. Of course, we think it was a great game because the Bengals, in the second half pulled it out and had a great win. But it was a wonderful stadium environment.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
It's like in the middle of the neighborhood too, which was interesting. Like when you
Yeah,
go to these different
Raymond
stadiums.
James. Yeah,
Yeah,
Raymond James Stadium. So that was good, and I really enjoyed it, and I know you guys did as well. And we're going to hopefully go to one this
yeah,
December
yeah.
in
I can't
Jacksonville.
wait. That was a
That's going
lot
to be
of
good.
fun.
That'll be fun. And then let's just round it out. So February would be the end of the full year of being in Florida. We did something that you have done before, and that's we went with our neighbors to Universal Studios Mardi Gras, which we
Oh
had
yeah,
not done. We
yeah.
did. Well, we actually did. I should say it was a combination trip because Mardi Gras was going on. We did the Orlando Informer event.
Oh, that's
So
right.
that was the after hours event that it closes to the general public and it's a ticketed event, but you're able to get in early enough to do the Mardi Gras parade, all the Mardi Gras offerings, the shows, and then it closed and then it was the after hours event. So that was a lot of fun. We discovered a new restaurant that I'm going to recommend people go to. It's called Hash House A Go Go. Anyone who's been to Las Vegas has probably heard of it. I didn't know there was one in Orlando on International Drive. Get there early. It's an epic breakfast. It is.
Oh, it's breakfast. Okay.
It's breakfast. You know what? I don't know if they're open other than breakfast or lunch, but definitely it has a following for breakfast. So fun, great food, great atmosphere. And we did that, and then we really ended the month with you and I got to do the preview for Tron.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my gosh.
the cast member preview. Jack, my cast member son, was able to get Shane and I and another friend and her son on Tron toward the end of February. Shane and I did one of our epic. Let's just go up to Orlando for a couple days trips.
Why not?
Why not?
We're right here. That's why we moved here, is to be close.
That's why we moved here, and we can work during the day, enjoy the parks around our work schedule, which is really great. And we actually got some more shopping in because his big discount was ending as well, so we were able to take advantage of that. So again, I know it's a lot that another long episode because we were just sharing how the first year went. I think we're settling into life.
Stuff.
It was a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, especially the first year in Florida. There were times when I felt like I was still kind of on vacation. And I'm really trying to settle in. I live in Florida. So, and that's a hard line to draw with, day-to-day living versus vacation fun stuff. And I think that's just one of the beauty of it. Any weekend, if you want to get up and do something, there's something fun to do. So I think that's it. That's our first year in Florida.
Yeah. And it's gone fast. I can't believe in October will be 2 years.
I know.
It goes really fast. And so, but I can't imagine not doing it. Even I know you went through Ian personally and, this destruction and everything, but I still cannot imagine not making the choice to do it. So,
oh yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on that. I agree with you. Well, so I think that wraps up episode 6. I don't think you and I even talked about what episode 7 is going to be. So stay tuned for that. We're going to probably, I think our life in Florida and the move and the why we moved to Florida, where we landed, all of that series is pretty wrapped up here. We'll probably dig into something a little bit more specific. What's that?
Fun. Maybe the cruise.
Yeah, we've got some different things like that might interest people. Yeah, I think there's Lord knows we've got a lot to choose from, so that's great.
We do. So stay tuned for something juicy and good.
And please, again, we're going to say it again, subscribe, like, comment, share. You can find us on pretty much any social media platform. We'll scroll on the screen how you can reach us. You can email us, find us on Facebook, obviously here on YouTube, and also more social media channels to come as we start to expand our reach
Absolutely.
with this. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess that's it.
Let's do it. Let's
make all
sign
your
off.
moments magical, Michelle.
Well, until the next
make
Take
all
10.
your moments magical. All right, you have fun in Florida and beyond up there, not Ohio. You're in that.
I know, in Florida and
vacation.
beyond. This is yes, for sure. Okay.
So we'll see you at the next Take 10.
See you at the next Take 10, everybody.
So long.